The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And goodness gracious, the streaming software was being completely uncooperative this afternoon. Hi, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 5th day of January 2023. And today, the treat is Greg Maddux, who I will not be coaching because Atlanta is on the road. We've already featured the Braves once against the Mets. We're going to get our obligatory Florida Marlins appearance up and out of the way. They're a team for the future. It's just not right now. And so the Braves come in after a very good series against the Mets. They took 2 out of 3. They beat Cincinnati. They're in a 1-game series to start the season. And guess what? It's raining again in Florida, 84 degrees. How about that? So the Braves come in at 3-1 in first place. Greg Maddux, who got his, I believe, a toe smashed in spring training, makes his first start of the year. Jason Grilli gets the start for Florida. If you're a Marlins fan, it's just not really going to be the stream for you, I would think. But, you know, that's why we play the game. So, better late than never. It's the Marlins and the Braves next. As Retro Sports Network presents 2001 an Action PC Season Odyssey. Today, from Pro Player Stadium in Coral Gables, Florida, it is the Florida Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Zalapsky Smurf, how are you? Good to have you along. So, a rainy night in Florida as Jason Grilli takes his warm-up tosses for what will be the first of 5 bad starts for him. Jason's only 24, throws the slider at 88 and a ground ball pitcher. 2-2, an end-run average of 608, 26 2/3, 30 hits, 6 home runs allowed, 11 walks and 17 strikeouts. Defensively for the Marlins, Floyd a 6 and a 4 in left, Preston Wilson is a 5 and an 8 in center, Owens a 4 and a 7 in right, Mike Lowell is a 4 at third, Gonzalez is a 5 at short, Castillo a 6 at second, Derek Lee a 7 at first, Johnson is an 8 and a 6 behind the plate, and Grilli, who's about to get grilled by the Braves, is a 5 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. The Braves line up like this. Rafael Furcal leads off at short. Davey Martinez in right will bat second. I think that's Davey. Andrew Jones in center bats third. Chipper Jones cleans up at third. B.J. Surhoff in left will bat fifth. Rico Bronya at first goes sixth. Angela Lockhart, Keith Lockhart at second, batting seventh. Paul Bacco behind the plate because Greg Maddux is on the mound. Maddux should throw about 100 pitches. Afternoon baseball today. Afternoon baseball Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. And we'll tell you what the schedule is for that after we're done here. So Grilli is ready. 84 and light rain here in Coral Gables. Furcal steps in at 3:13, no homers, and an RBI. And after a few minute delay because the streaming software was pretending to be a teenage girl, we're ready to go. Furcal draws the walk. So that brings up Dave Martinez. I hear he might be a manager in the future. Davey, 6 for 3 on the young season with a triple. 287, 2 homers, and 20 RBI on the real year. Grilli delivers. There goes for call. It's a hit and run. Castillo will grab it. Goes to first. Lee is there for the out, 1 away. So for call moves to second for Andrew Jones, who is off to a hot start. 5 for 16 on the season, hitting .313 with 2 homers, and 3 RBI. Grilly sets and fires, and that's popped up left side. Gonzalez, almost into foul territory here, will make the catch for the second out. That'll bring up Chipper Jones. Chipper at 250, a triple, and 2 RBI. This is game number 5 for the Braves, game number 4 for the Marlins. Only 100 pitches. I guess the margin of error for Maddox is not high. I think what they do is they look at the number of starts and the number of innings and kind of come out with a pitch count that way. If you look at the Leo Mazzoni school of pitch counts, how you doing, Zelderon? It's around 15 an inning. And so if you threw between around 180 innings, that's about 6. And I think that's how they figure it. So if you look at, 15, 30, 4 would be 60, 6 would be 90. You figure that Maddox in this version would go into the 7th, if all goes well. Jones hits a ground ball to Castillo, and that's going to play him. So Chipper reaches on the air, and for call, will hold at third, or go to third. For B.J. Surhoff, at 222, a home run and 2 RBI. Big Dave, how are you? So runners on the corners, 2 out. Grilly's pitch is a ground ball to Castillo. He'll make the play this time, and the Braves get nothing. Half an inning in the books. The error does not hurt. The Braves leave on 2, no score. Although in Maddox's case, he went 233 innings. So Maddox at 35 years old, he must be the only pitcher in baseball history to win 4 consecutive Cy Young Awards. That fastball is Bugs Bunny at this point. It really is just a hard change at 82. An extreme ground ball pitcher. So I don't know why he only has 134 starts and 233 innings. We bring up the old calculator here. But again, that's about right. Almost 7 a start. So 6 2/3 would be his average. Anyway, 17 and 11 for the Braves in 01, an earned run average of 305. Ben Scully never pulled out a calculator on the air, I can tell you that. 233, the innings pitched, 220 hits, 20 homers, still pinpoint control. Your grandmother with a crochet hook wasn't as accurate as Maddox needling the strike zone. He only walked 27 in 233 innings, while striking out 173. Louis Castillo leads off for Florida at second base. Owens in right will bat second. Cliff Floyd in left will go third. Preston Wilson in center cleans up. Mike Lowell at third bats fifth. Johnson behind the plate goes sixth. Lee at first batting seventh. Gonzalez at short goes eighth. And Grilly, who right on cue threw 15 pitches in his half of the first, bats ninth. The defense behind Greg Maddux, B.J. Surhoff a 4 and a 4 in left, Andrew Jones a 10 and a 6 in center, Dave Martinez a 4 and a 6 in right, Chipper Jones a 3 at third, for Call a 5 at second, Keith Lockhart a 3, for Call's a 5 at short, Lockhart a 3 at second, Bronya a 4 at first, Paul Bacco a 4 and a 5 behind the plate, and Maddux, who has so many gold gloves that even Brooks Robinson is jealous, is a 10 on the mound with a very excellent .986 fielding percentage. So he really did earn those. Castillo steps in 3 for 10 on the replay with a triple, 263, 2 homers, and 45 RBI on the real year. Well, have a great day, Matt. Ricky, how are you? Maddox, as Ricky says, only had 60 pitches in his start in real life. And again, that has to do with the fact that he got a line drive off his foot the last start of spring training. So with all that said, no such limit for Maddox today. And he strikes out Castillo on an 0-2 change. So Maddox doing his best. Norman Rockwell painting corners already. Here's Eric Owens, 2 for 9 on the replay with a solo homer. 253 on the real year, 5 homers and 28 RBI. Maddox winds and deals, and there's a base hit into right field. Martinez will pick it up. He should have made the play, frankly, but he didn't. The wind, by the way, blowing left to right at 5. Here's Cliff Floyd, 364 on the young year, a home run and 3 RBI. He was the Marlins catalyst on offense, hitting .317, 31 homers, and 103 RBI in real life. From the set, got him. A 1-2 again, a change. I'm not sure what he was looking for, but Maddox got him on a swing and miss, 2 out. So here is son of Mookie, Preston Wilson, 274, 23 homers and 71 RBI. Has not had a great start for Florida. He is 0 for 9 on the young replay with 4 strikeouts. Runner on first, Maddox deals, and there's a base hit into left center, so Wilson is off the schneid in 2001. Owens is going to try for third. They're going to run on that arm. Tony Perez, by the way, the manager. Owens to third to throw into Chipper. No, sir. He's saved. So runners on the corners. D. Scott Howard missed the Mariner game yesterday, but as soon as we don't have a DH, he's here. How are you? So runners on first and third for Mike Lowell, who was 2 for 10 on the young season, a home run and 2 RBI. 283, 18 homers, and 100 RBI for the Marlins in 01. Maddox deals, and Lowell hits a ground ball to Furcal. Raphael goes the long way to Bronya at first, and that will retire the side. The Marlins threaten and do not score. 2 hits, they leave 2 on. After 1, no score. So Bronya, Lockhart, and Baco, who I can't imagine has batted this year, to face Grilly in the second. Rico, 2 for 10 on the replay. 248, 3 homers, and 21 RBI in real life. Up the middle, Gonzalez by the bag at second, over to first, 1 out. So here is Keith Lockhart. Looking at that picture, kind of looks like one of those baseball card shots from the 50s, doesn't it? The well-weathered face and all that. If you can imagine that A could be an M, or if you go far back enough, a B when they were in Boston. Anyway, 1 for 3 with a double on the young season. 219, 3 homers, and 12 RBI in real life. Grilly kicks and fires. Ground ball to Castillo. Over to first, 2 out. So hope you're all doing well. Paul Baco only caught in games pitched by Greg Maddux. So 212 on the real year, 2 homers and 15 RBI. And there's a fly ball to right. Owens is going to come in a bit, make the catch, and that will retire the side. Braves go in order. Inning and a half in the books, no score. Charles Johnson. I knew it wasn't Cliff. Anyway, Charles off to a sluggish start. 2 for 11 with 3 strikeouts. That's a 182 average. On the real season, 259, 18 homers, and 75 RBI. Maddox starts the second. struck him out. It got in there at the knees, and Baco dropped it and made the tag. So 1 out for Derek Lee. 0 for 9. Tape Saturator in Finland, how are you? Still at work at 6:20 on a winter's night in Central Europe. Lee is grounded into a double play, a walk, and struck out twice. 282 on the real season, 21 homers and 75 RBI. Right back to Maddox, and he's going to throw to Bronya for the out. I mean, is there a surer pair of hands in all of baseball than Greg Maddox? 2 out for Alex Gonzalez. Alex, 1 for 8 on the season. 250 in real life, 9 homers and 48 RBI. Maddox delivers, and there's a ground ball to third. Chipper over to Bronya, and that's the side. So Maddox does his work on 11 pitches. Grilly got hit the side in order in the second on 10. We go to the third, no score. Yep, Cliff Johnson was a catcher, but not as good as Charles. Cliff Johnson was a DH that wore catching stuff. Was Thurman Munson's backup in the late 70s and played for the Blue Jays. He was on that 85 squad. Greg Maddox, not a bad hitter for a pitcher. 188, 3 RBI, 12 for 64. Grilly starts the third. Ground ball left side, base hit. So Floyd will pick it up. Lowell should have had it. You can send, would you please put Mike in a care package for Boston? So opening 9 for Grilly is about as good as you'd expect from a pitcher with an earned run average of 6. 2 innings plus 32 pitches, a hit and a walk. Recall walk to start the ballgame. From the stretch, high ground ball. Grilly has it towards the bag at first. Throws to Lee, and for call, beat it out. Raphael can run. Grilly knew his only chance was to make the throw himself, and it was still too late. So first and second for Martinez. Davies 0 for 1. Popped up. Charles Johnson, no relation to Howard. Doffs the mask, makes the catch. A great catch against the screen, and there's 1 out for Andrew Jones, 0 for 1. If Ricky's still watching, I'm sure his mom would just get the twitches watching these Braves teams. Braves and Mets, huge rivals, which is why I enjoyed doing that first one. Braves and Marlins weren't best of friends either in this era. And that stems back to Levon Hernandez's strike zone the size of Florida in the 97 NLCS. Pitch to Andrew is a long drive to left, and Floyd will turn and watch it go. An absolute no-doubter. And just like that, it's 3-0 Atlanta. So Grilly did his best in the first 2 innings, but Jones just uncorked his 3rd year of the year. And that's a pick and a poke, because that wall was a mini monster that covered up the football bleachers here at Pro Player Stadium for the Dolphins. And so it took a bunch to get over there. Ricky says, yeah, after 99, plenty of Turner Field flashbacks. I'll only know Lockhart from being the last out of the Mets clutching the wild card in 2000. Okay. So 3-0 Braves, and Andrew already has his 3rd home run. So here's Chipper, who's 0 for 1. Grilly gets back on the mound and strikes him out. An 0-2 curve at 81 swung on and missed. So Chipper was thinking fastball, and Grilly just gave him something to break. Here's B.J. Surhoff. He's 0 for 1. In the right center, Preston Wilson makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So the Braves get 3 on the big blast by Andrew Jones. No hit, or 3 hits and no errors. Bottom of the third here at Pro Player. It's Atlanta 3, Florida nothing. Mr. Howard, by the way, came up yesterday when we taped the show. Had an enjoyable interview with Steve Tate as he walked us through the process of how he created those 5-year slices. Jason Grilly didn't bat all that much, 2 for 7. He'll get that bat here. 286, a solo homer and 2 RBI in real life. High fly ball, left field. Back goes Surhoff, and that is gone. And so the Beer League softball home run to Jason Grilly. So Maddox immediately gives up the run. To the pitcher. Well, I suppose if you're only going to have 7 at-bats on a season, they should have batted him more. I think Grilly was hurt. Today, you would use him as a pinch hitter. So it's 3-1. There is some good pop in this Florida lineup, but yep, it's the pitcher that takes him deep. So here's Luis Castillo. He struck out his first time up. Maddox opening 9, 28 pitches, 2+ innings, 3 hits, a homer, and 3 strikeouts. We had a really good time with him, Scotty. A really good time with him. So hopefully you get the chance to listen today. And if you're wondering about how to do home brews in Action PC, he kind of peels back that onion a bit. Pitch to Castillo. Walked him. Well, there's 2 things that Maddox didn't do a heck of a lot of. Walks. He started 34 games and only threw 27 walks. Here's Eric Owens. He singled his first time up. Maddox throws to first. Grilly's only major league home run was in 2001. Now, was it in this game? That would be wild if he actually hit it off of Maddox. Pitch to Owens. In the left center. The crowd likes it. So does Andrew Jones. He makes the catch. Yeah, he is a nice guy, Scotty. And his contribution to Action PC, along with Zep317, who we talk about a little bit, it is just remarkable. And what he has planned for the future is also quite remarkable. Cliff Floyd is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That's not so remarkable. Maddox delivers. Floyd hits a high ground ball to Chipper. He's going to go across the way to Bronya for the out. So 2 away, and Castillo goes to second. For Preston Wilson, Preston has a single. He's 1 for 1. Looks like his dad. Struck him out. So for Maddox, that's 4. And that will retire the side. But Jason Grilly, a home run. That was a lone hit. After 3, Atlanta 3, Florida 1. So Bronya, Lockhart, and Baco to face Grilly, who again, 5 innings seems to be about his limit. Text message time. Hey, I paid the cable bill. How about that? So Bronya is 0 for 1. Grilly starts the 4th with a fly ball, left center field. Wilson moving in, 1 out. Lockhart is 0 for 1. Ah, it came against Montreal because Grilly's home run was April 15th off of Tony Armas Jr., who was traded for Pedro Martinez. Pitch to Lockhart. High ground ball to Gonzalez. Alex gets up, throws it to first for the out. By the way, congratulations to Gardner for getting the Spiders to 20 wins. Here's Baco. He's 0 for 1. And there's a ground ball base hit right side. Owens will pick it up. And so the Braves have Maddox at the plate, who doesn't homer, and 2 out. That would be something if he did, though, wouldn't it be? Grilly kicks and fires, and Maddox strikes out. There you go. No runs, a hit, no errors. So if they don't get to Grilly, he probably will pitch the 5th. But anyway, no runs for Florida. They leave a runner on after at Atlanta rather, after 3.5. 3-1 Braves. All right, gonna show you the standings the old-fashioned way. The Braves are off to a flying start. In fact, in their 4 games, they've scored 20 runs. That's pretty good. Philadelphia a half game back. Florida, Montreal, New York. That's too early. In the Central, we've been told to stop playing as the Astros are 3-0. Cubs are a good team in 0-1. Milwaukee, 0-4. In the West, this is going to be a 4-way barn burner, I think. The Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Giants are all 2-1. The Dodgers are 2-2. American League East, the Red Sox, Yankees, and Tampa are all 2-1. In the Central, everyone's at 1-1 except for Kansas City. And in the West, Texas, once the counting stopped, they're 3-1. Had a good series against the Jays. Seattle took 2 out of 3 against Oakland. And Anaheim is 1-2. Texas scored 32 in their first 4 games of the season. And only given up, but they've given up 26. Mr. Howard's played every game in the first 100. You're hooked. You set up a test league for the 5-year basketball set, expecting you to play a few games from the schedule so far. And if Zalapsky Smurf, you just drag him into a new league. Take who you want. And go that way. He's working, I think now he said there's 120 baseball teams in the 2 league sets. Here's Mike Lowell, 0 for 1. Maddox starts the 4th with a ground ball to Lockhart over to first. I joked Angela, really it was June Lockhart. Angela Cartwright, I was thinking of from Lost in Space. I got my 60s people mixed up, but I wasn't around then. Here's Charles Johnson. He struck out his first time up. To first, Bronya, 2 out. Derek Lee is 0 for 1. Maddox kicks and fires. And that's a Greg Maddox inning. He got him to swing on a crappy pitch. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, Atlanta 3, Florida 1. So with Grilly's spot due up second in the 5th, he will pitch the 5th, which is about, I think, as long as you'd expect someone for 5 starts and 26 innings to go. After 18 batters, 70 pitches, 4 innings, 4 hits, the home run to Andrew Jones, a walk and 2 strikeouts. All 3 runs are earned. For Cole, has walked, singled, and scored. He's 1 for 1. Drops one down. Johnson picks it up, throws to Castillo, and he's retired. So 2-4 on the bunt. And it'll bring up Dave Martinez, who's 0 for 2. Scotty remembers Angela Cartwright as Danny Thomas's daughter on Make Room for Daddy. That's a show that didn't last very long in reruns. I mean, there's a lot of shows from the 60s that we've all seen. Lost in Space, which I always thought was stupid. But I don't know if I've ever really seen episodes of Make Room for Daddy. Father Knows Best, obviously. We're doing a Braves game, so you know that Andy Griffith has to be brought up. Pitch to Martinez. Ground ball to Gonzalez. Alex throws it over to first, 2 out. Regarding a Tate Files, I reached out to him regarding a player that was missing. Too impatient to hear back. He does want to hear. I did ask him the question, and that email, his email is on the show. Decide to make the donut yourself? Well, that's why, guys in mustaches make the donuts. Took an hour and a half to make one player. Yeah. He walked us through the process, and it was there. Andrew Jones, by the way, 2 out. He now has 6 RBI on the season. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun with that. And Steve gets it, man. So Jones 1 for 2. He now has 3 homers and 6 RBI. And has scored 5 times for the Braves in their first 5 games. Right up the middle, Castillo over to Lee for the out. And we'll talk about spin-offs and all that after we get the break. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home on a Thursday here in Burlington, where it's 45, 81 in Coral Gables. It's the Braves 3, the Marlins 1. Well, if you joined us late, I was late because XSplit didn't want to open. But once we finally got there, here's how we got here. That didn't make a lot of sense. Andrew Jones, a 3-run bomb down the line and left to make it 3-0 Atlanta in the third. And then Jason Grilly, of all people, a solo shot off of Greg Maddux to make it 3-1. Maddux, a 3-hitter through 4. He's on 60 pitches. And unlike his real-life start, he'll go until he can't. Grilly's day is going to be done, and he pitched okay except for one batter. 4 hits over 5, 3 runs all earned. The home run to Andrew Jones, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Alex Gonzalez is 0 for 1. Andy Griffith, of course, was a spin-off of Make Room for Daddy when Danny Thomas's character gets stuck in Mayberry, and Andy kind of played the role of everybody, judge, jury, and executioner. And when they turned it into a TV series, they added Barney Fife and all that. They say that Good Times gets credit for being the first spin-off of a spin-off, because Good Times was a spin-off of Maude, which of course was a spin-off of All in the Family. But if you think about it, Mayberry RFD was a spin-off of the Andy Griffith Show, which of course, as Scotty says, a spin-off of Make Room for Daddy. And that type of useless television trivia information you will not find on a Fortnite stream. Gonzalez draws the walk. Maddux has walked 2 today. So we're going to pinch hit for Grilly. Who can hit a righty, huh? Who can hit a righty? And I think the answer is future Cowboy up, Kevin Millar. For hanging out with the Red Sox and then Chris Rose, Millar with the Marlins. What did Florida get back in return for that trade? 1 for 3 on the replay with a strikeout. Not a bad ball player in his own right, by the way. 314, 20 homers, and 85 RBI. And never, ever, ever shut up. Maddox delivers. Millar laces this one into right. Martinez will pick it up. And the Marlins now have the go-ahead run at the plate as Castillo, because Millar is on. So Maddox, 18 batters, 4 innings plus, 70 pitches. The home run to Grilly. He has walked 2 and struck out 5. My favorite Kevin Millar story has to do with his time with the Red Sox and a gift he gave to Terry Francona during a game in Minnesota pre-game. Millar handed him a bag of fertilizer, and Terry didn't know what it was until he opened it. Cowboy up. Pitch to Castillo. Luis strikes out. That's 6 for Maddox. A 1-2 change just below the belt. 1 out. And here's Eric Owens, who's 1 for 2 with a single. And Steve is good at taking requests. We asked him yesterday about some of the oddball slices he's chosen, and he brought up the late 70s Cubs, because they contended in 77. What a bullpen that they had. They couldn't start a game to save their life outside of Rick Russell. But what a pen. God, oh, it's a walk. That's another walk for Maddox, and they're loaded. Computer, by the way, running the Braves. 1 out for Floyd. Cliff is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. The 79 Cubs had Bruce Sutter, Lee Smith, Willie Hernandez, and Donnie Moore, all in the same pen. That's true. Ken Berry of Mayberry RFD and F Troop and Mama's Family did not play center field for the White Sox. So those 4 arms for the Cubs, getting them the game with the lead was another story. Pitch to Floyd is 0 for 2. That might be to Lockhart, which started the 60s nonsense. It's going to go to Furcal for 1. Raphael will not throw to first. So the run scores. It is a 4-6 fielder's choice. 2 out, and now a 3-2 ball game. For Preston Wilson, who's 1 for 2, he singled and struck out. So runners on the corners. Millar leads, gets away from Baco, and Millar's going to score to tie it up. So Javi Lopez, laughing in the dugout, says, I could have done that. It's a pass ball by Baco, and we're knotted at 3. And a 2-0 count with 2 out. Maddox, ground ball to third. Chipper over to Bronya, but the damage is done. The Marlins get 2 runs, no hits and no errors. We go to the 6 and a 3-3 tie. All right, who are we going to bring in here? Switchy, lefty, 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 lefty. So it's going to be Vic Derensborg. Vic is 30 years old, a curveball pitcher at 84, and a standard pitcher. All already has an inning and 2/3 and 2 appearances under his belt. He pitched twice in the Philly series. He last pitched on the 3rd. 2/3 of an inning, 13 pitches, a hit, and a walk. So an inning and 2/3 for Vic. 2 hits and a walk. No record or ERA. He'll face Chipper Jones to start the 6th. 1-2 with a save and a 4.25 ERA in real life. And he strikes out Chipper Jones on a 1-2 curve. 1 out for Surhoff, who was 0 for 2. Surhoff stays in the game. Ground ball to Lowell. Mike across the way. 2 out. Darrensborg, not a great fielder. He's a 2. With a fielding percentage of .917. Bronya is 0 for 2. Oh, yeah, it's Florida. They are not known for massive support here. Rico hits a ground ball to Gonzalez, and Alex will make the play over to first. And that will retire the side. 5.5 in the books. It's the Braves 3, the Marlins 3. So Lowell, Johnson, and Lee to face Maddox here in the 6th. Again, Dave Gardner has gotten the Cleveland Spiders of 1899 to 20 wins. And for that, he is our Digital Dice MVP. Lowell is 0 for 2. To short for call. And Bronya is there for the out. It is still raining, 78 degrees. Just a light shower that's lasted for about 2 hours. Here's Charles Johnson, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Millar was purchased by the Red Sox from the Marlins. I'm not sure if he'll tell you. I know that he usually plays the other teams, and doesn't do every game. Johnson hits a ground ball left side for a base hit. So that is the 5th hit for Florida. 3-4-0 for the Braves. They've left on 3. The pass ball does not count as an error. 3 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Marlins, and they've left on 4. Derek Lee is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. To short, should be 2 for call. Lockhart, Bronya, and that'll do it. So 6-4-3. We go to the 7th. It is 3-3. So should them winning 20 be a bad thing? I think anything you get out of that team is good. And the amazing thing is, a few years before, they had won the championship. Darrensborg will at least pitch to Lockhart and Baco, and then we'll see what the computer does with Maddox. Keith is 0 for 2. And Wes Helms is going to pinch hit. He had Helms in the game against the Mets, 1 for 6 overall with a homer, a pinch hit homer, and 2 RBI. And Helms gets hit. Yeah, that's great. Got him on the shoulder. Let's see what they do with Baco. So the go-ahead run is on. Nobody out top the 7th. Paul stays in the game. Fly ball, right field. Owens moving over. Makes the catch. And Helms retreats. Oh, out of play. Guess that would have been an out. So somebody from Hollywood made that catch. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Paul. Baco strikes out. Got him on a 1-2 curve. And here's Maddox, who's 1 for 2. Now, you would think with 1 out, we'll play him in at the corners, that if they were going to pinch hit for Maddox, that they would have also pinch hit for Baco to bring in a new catcher. But you know about the best laid plans and all that. Brian Jordan's going to pinch hit. interesting logic there. Jordan has not pinch hit this year, but off to a great start. 267, 4 for 15, 2 homers and 4 RBI. 25 homers in real life. He's not bunting here. Johnson and Darrensburg have a word or two. Struck him out. Wow, a fastball at 77, and there's 2 out. He got him to look at a little league speed fastball. Even Bugs Bunny is impressed with that. Here's for call. Raphael 1 for 2. He has walked and scored. I'm going to try to leave him in for call. He would bat second in the bottom of the 7th. Darrensburg for call. Draws the walk. It's going to make me burn the pitcher. Lefty. Armando Almanza will be coming in 2-2, his first appearance of the year, with a 4.83 real life ERA. 28 years old, a hard fly ball pitcher. Fastball tops out at 94, and he really is only against lefties. 41 innings and 54 appearances, 34 hits, 8 home runs. He has walked 26 and struck out 45. See what they do with Davey Martinez, who's 0 for 3. They will let him bat. Snap throw to first. A lead for call is out. They got him. Stretch time, 3-3. So this is Leitenberg's third appearance on the season. He last went up 2 days ago against the Mets in a 3-1 loss in Atlanta. He went 1 inning through 12 pitches and struck out a man. So 2 innings so far, 1 hit and 4 Ks. In real life, 3-3 with a save, with an earned run average of 3.02. Gonzalez, a pinch hitter, and Castillo to face Leitenberg here in the 7th. Gonzalez has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. And there's a ground ball to for call. Over to first. And Bronia's there. Cuvio Vargas is in the game at second. He's a 6. Who can hit a righty? And the answer is Dave Berg, who's 0 for 2. Presumably as a pinch hitter overall, 242, 4 homers and 16 RBI. 1 out, Leitenberg deals, and Berg draws the walk. So Maddox will not get a decision. And whoever, actually it's Almanza, who would get the decision if Florida scores here, or at least get the win. Castillo is 0 for 2. Louis has walked and struck out twice. Line drive right field. That's a base hit. Martinez goes in the corner. This is going to be extra bases. Berg better start running for third. Will he round third? He will. Martinez throws it in the infield. He's going to try for Castillo at third. It won't matter as Berg's going to score. Castillo is in there with a triple. And the Marlins go ahead 4-3. And that'll bring up Eric Owens. His single and walk, he's 1 for 2. So Leitenberg is now the pitcher of record. Owen slaps this one into left. Castillo's going to score. And it's 5-3 for Cliff Floyd, who's 0 for 3. A strikeout and an RBI. Owens is back. I see that Scotty was talking about not using a three-point shot. The one thing that Stratomatic does, regardless of the team era, is it will assign a three-point rating to all the players. So it is possible for Jerry West or an Oscar Robertson, if you so choose to have that rule, to take and make three-point shots. I know, blasphemy. Floyd is ready. He does have an RBI. And Leitenberg got him. A 2-2 fastball at 93 looking. So 2 out for Preston Wilson. 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Carey throws to first. Owens has good speed. And they picked him off. How about that? Bronya gets the tag on him, and that's the inning. But the Marlins get 2 on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 8th, 5-3, Florida. So too early for Alfonseca. Braden Looper, who looks so happy to have his picture taken there, doesn't he? Braden making his 3rd appearance of the year, 26 years old. The splitter tops out about 91 in a ground ball pitcher. He also pitched on the 3rd in their Marlins 5-3 loss to the Phillies. Inning and a third, because I can read. 21 pitches, 2 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked a man and struck out a guy. Overall, 2 1/3 so far. 3 hits, that earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. On the real year, 3-3, 3 saves, and an earned run average of .355. It'll be Davey Martinez, and then the Jones brothers, Andrew and Chipper, to follow. Dave is 0 for 3. Looper starts his 9th, struck him out. An 0-2 splitter, swung on and missed. Alfonseca warming in the pen, or at least loosening a bit, for Florida. So here's Andrew Jones, already 3 home runs in the Braves' first 5 games. In the left, Floyd. Is that gone? It's foul. Oh, he caught it. Well, thanks, chalkboard. Let me call this one again. Fly ball left field. Floyd retreats. We get do-overs in this, right? Makes the catch, 2 out. Here's Jones. Chipper is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Right back to Looper towards first. Throws to Lee, and that will retire the side. So the Marlins are 3 outs away from a win. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 8, 5-3, Fishies. So Leitenberg will at least start the 8th. Wilson, who was at the plate when Owens was picked off, followed by Mikey Lowell and Charles Johnson. Wilson 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Ground ball to Rico. Takes it to the bag himself, and Brona records the out. No, he's safe. Wilson, again, like his dad, Mookie, had good speed, and there wasn't much Bronya could do. Bronya thought he had him, but doesn't say anything when the safe call goes up. So here's Mike Lowell. Mike is 0 for 3. Throw to first. Wilson is back. And now he's going to try and steal. Baco still in the game. Throws down to Varys, and Preston has his first of the year. So runner on second, a 1-ball count to Lowell, nobody out. Mike's 0 for 3, and they're going to walk him. So the intentional walk for Charles Johnson, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. And let's see if the computer, Bobby Cox, will make a move. Baco, trying to slow things down, has a conversation. Lightenberg will pitch. Johnson hits a ground ball to Furcal. Should be 2. No, goes to third. Chipper for 1. DeBronia. And they turn it. So a 6-5-3 double play. And with 2 out, Braves are going to change pitchers and bring in Chris Seelbach. The empty stadium shows the accuracy of the game. So Seelbach coming in. Chris is not getting his name on the Braves Wall of Honor anytime in the near future. 28 years old, fastball at 93, a fly ball plus pitcher. He threw 5 games in 01. Had an earned run average of 788. 8 innings, 9 hits, 3 home runs. He walked 5 and 8 strikeouts. I think the best Rico in MLB history, well, Suave, of course. I would say Cardi. I think in New England you'd hear Petrocelli, and I'm not going to say that Rico Petrocelli wasn't great. But I think if you look at the careers, I would say Cardi. I might be completely wrong on that. Derek Lee is 0 for 3. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. It'll be Surhoff, Bronya, and Varys in the 9th for Atlanta. Brad says he listened to Alan Dave on the show from last week. Go over that 95 Sox team. We've had a lot of fun doing the show. Lee, line drive, extra bases. Surhoff is going to have to chase. Wasn't Steve a great interview? Absolutely. Lowell's going to score. Lee is into second. I made you a video, Brad, by the way. And so it's 6-3 for Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2. So Maddox isn't going to get a win. He won't get the loss either. A run scored and a walk. I do my best. Gonzalez in the left field. Back goes BJ to the wall, and he'll bring it in, and that will retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Marlins got some margin for error. We go to the 9th at 6-3. So 6-9-1 for Florida, 5 left on, 3-4-0 for the Braves, and 4 left on. You're going to leave Looper in for a bit. BJ is 0 for 3. Bronya and Varys to follow. Looper starts the 9th with a base hit into right field. Owens will pick it up. Surhoff digging for 2. The throw to Gonzalez is not in time. So Looper looking like his picture now. Here's Bronya, who's 0 for 3. Is Surhoff the best BJ? Considering that this is monetized on several channels, it's either Surhoff or Honeycutt. And that's all I'm going for on that one. Or BJ McCain is Best Friend Bear. I'm tempted, but I'm not gonna. Pitch to Bronya is a ground ball to Gonzalez. Over to first. BJ Ryan, that's true. So Surhoff goes to third. That run really doesn't matter too much. 1 out, runner on third for QVO Varys. 4 for 16 on the season already with an RBI. Hitting .250. As my table shakes. Varys Slow ground ball over the mound. Castillo will just take the shore out at first, and it's 6-4. So Surhoff will score. And Baco is 1 for 3. We'll see if they pinch hit. He is also struck out. Pitcher spot on deck. So last chance saloon, nobody on for the Braves as they trail by 2. Looper would get the save. Look interested, Braden. It's okay. Baco stays in the game. Lines one to Gonzalez, and the Marlins beat the Braves by the score of 6-4. 6 runs, 9 hits, one error. I didn't see the Marlins winning this one either. They leave on 5. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Braves. They leave on 4, and since the Braves have lost this game, you just get the cooking portion for the awkward show, dinner and a movie, next on TBS. If they had won, you'd have just seen the movie instead of the awkward cooking part of it. So Kerry Lightenberg is the loser. He gives up 3 runs over an inning and 2/3. Maddox coming off the injured foot, 6 innings, 5 hits. He gave up the homer to Grilly, of all people. 3 runs, 2 earned. Walked 3 and struck out 6. He could have thrown 105 pitches. Grilly, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Andrew Jones hammered one off him in a losing effort. Almanza gets the win. He faced nobody. He picked off a man and got a win. How about that? And Looper with the 6-out save. So Grilly is going to be our MVP for Digital Dice. And the Marlins are 30 years old. And that's right. Both of their World Series wins were wild card years. That time has flown, Mr. Tate says, since those Marlins and Rockies came to be. And in fact, we said this on Tuesday, that there's a first replay with 4 new teams. Don't forget Arizona, who you'll see a lot of, and Tampa, who is still throwing at Red Sox hitters. So let's play the rest of this day in baseball for you, and then tell you what's on the docket for next week. It's a full Friday of baseball here. The games of April 6th. The Phillies beat the Cubs 3-2. Real Cormier already has 2 wins on the year. Julian Tavares is 0-1. Bobby Abreu 3 for 4 his first of the year and 2 doubles. Red Sox beat the Rays 6-4. Tomo Oka, come on, go back. See, you've had enough of that. Come on. As I was saying, Tomoka gets the win 1-0. Rupi goes to 0-1. Trot Nixon 3 for 4, his first of the year, and drives in 2. Royals beat the Twins 2-1. Santiago Jose gets the win 1-0. Wells is 0-1. Torrey Hunter a home run. The White Sox behind 5 home runs and a 2-hitter from Jim Parquet gets the 7-0 shutout win. Malicki takes the loss. Mets beat the Expos 9-7. John Franco gets the win 1-0. Graham Lloyd falls to 0-2. Robin Ventura 3 for 4 his second of the year and drives in 3. Orioles beat Cleveland 5-3. Mercedes gets the win. Burba takes the loss. Jerry Harrison Jr. 2 for 4, a homer and 2 RBI. Slugfest in the Bronx. Toronto beats the Yankees 11-10. Bourbon 1-0. Williams 0-1. Raul Mondesi, I believe it's senior at this point, 4 for 5. Maybe it's junior. I think it is. A homer and 2 RBI. Break up the Reds. They are 3-2. They beat Milwaukee 7-2. Bell with the win. D'Amico the loss. Houston 2 for 4 his first of the year with a double. The Astros finally lose in 0-1. Pittsburgh beat them 4-3. Olivares 1-0. Octavio Dotel is 0-1. Jeff Bagwell, 3 for 3. His second of the year with a double. Texas, 19 hits, 2 homers from Alex Rodriguez. He drives in 4 as Helling beats Jamie Moyer 10-8. In Colorado, by the way, Seattle had 16 hits in that one. Break out the humidor. Colorado beats San Diego 9-8. Bohannon with a win, Eaton with a loss. Phil Nevin in a losing effort, 2 for 5. Already has 3 homers on the year and a double. The Diamondbacks in 10 beat St. Louis 7-6. Albert Pujols. I wonder whatever will happen to him. It's his first major league home run. Jerry Springer, I don't think so, gets the win. Mike Timlin the loss, he's 0-1. Dodgers beat the Giants 9-3. Prokopek gets the win. Sean Estes takes the loss, he's 0-1. Marquise Grissom, 4 for 5 with 2 doubles. And last but not least, the A's beat the Angels 5-4 and 13. Matthews with the win, Holtz with the loss. Giambi, either Jason or Jeremy, I think it's Jason, 2 for 5, his first of the year, and 4 RBI because Jeremy hit one in our last stream. So when we're with you on Tuesday, it'll be the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks from Chase, Daryl, Kyle going, and hopefully someone by the name of Johnson going for Arizona. Have I picked games for next week? Yes. Atlanta and New York will be next Wednesday's stream, noon Eastern. That Tuesday stream is either going to be noon or 8. We're going to shoot for noon, but if not, I'll let you know in the Facebook group. Maddox versus Ron Reed, by the way, in that one. And the Thursday stream is going to be Houston at St. Louis, Bottenfield versus Kyle. And if we do a Thursday stream, Bobby Witt for Arizona. Okay. Well, the last stream of the week, if we do come to you on Friday, some scrub by the name of Clemens versus Martinez. Yep, the logos on the scoreboard look good. All right, that'll do it for this week. So no Sunday stream. I got a family function. And so until Tuesday, have yourself a wonderful time. We'll talk to you then. So long, everybody.